Welcome back to The Verdict. Mick Cornett with Kent Myers. Glad you're with us. And today we're going to touch on baseball, minor league baseball in the state of Oklahoma, and we've got an expert on the show.
Well, we do. We have the general manager of the Oklahoma Redhawks, Scott Pruitt, to be with us. And as the Swallows return to Capistrano this time of year, the Redhawks return to Oklahoma City. And they're back. I told you it was a corny opening.
It was a corny opening.
Yeah, well, you just have to live through it.
Delivered.
I didn't disappoint you, did I? And Scott won't disappoint us, telling us about what's going on with the Redhawks, how the season's going, what does the roster look like, and what does he hope to do to entertain the residents that come to watch the ball games.
Scott lives in Tulsa, obviously works in Oklahoma City. We'll get a rundown. The health of minor league baseball in 2007 in the state of Oklahoma. Scott Pruitt, our guest on today's edition of The Verdict.
Every day America uses clean-burning natural gas instead of coal or oil is a day of victory for our environment. That's why Chesapeake chose to explore for natural gas exclusively, and we've never looked back. Because natural gas burns twice as clean as oil or coal, and reducing carbon emissions to combat potential global warming is every bit as urgent as cutting our dependence on energy imports. As America's #1 driller of new gas wells, Chesapeake is moving fast to find untapped reserves of natural gas here at home. It's the right fuel for America's economy and the fuel for a clean air future. We just happen to be early to see it so clearly. Chesapeake, natural gas wins the day.
There's a whole new world online, but it's not always safe for kids. Never give your name, phone, address, or password to anyone you met online, and always keep your personal information private. It's the safe way for kids, right, gang?
Right. Be safe online.
Thanks to Lauren Nelson and Cox, we're working to keep Oklahoma kids safer online. For your free guide, log on now. And if you feel your child has been placed in danger by someone online, notify law enforcement today.
Are you the one looking for an exciting new career? If so, we are the one looking for you. We are Cox Communications, and we are searching for field service representatives. FSRs interact and perform services at our customers' home. Sound like the job for you? Then some of the things you need are a high school diploma and a good driving record. But for complete job description and qualification, go to jobs@cox.com.
Cornett with Kent Myers, and Kent's going to introduce today's guest.
We are very pleased today to have Scott Pruitt, the General Managing Partner of the Oklahoma Redhawks, with us. Scott has his undergraduate degree from Georgetown College, his law degree from the University of Tulsa. He was in the private practice of law for many years. He was elected to the Oklahoma State Senate in 1998 and served there till 2006 when he resigned to run for Lieutenant Governor. He became general managing partner of the Redhawks in 2004. He has been deeply involved with the Redhawks operation since that time, and I know he's pleased to know that the attendance has increased every year. He's been managing general partner. This is his first visit to the Verdict, but we want you to come back. But in any event, welcome.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Welcome. Thank you.
You know, Scott, a lot of people don't know that you played college baseball.
That's right.
And now you're on the other side of it. What's the difference between being a player and being in management?
You know, one of the things I try to really instill in our team members in the front office, the players that are playing for us, their dream is to be in Arlington. And it's great to play AAA baseball. Very few people make it to that level, but their dream is the big leagues. And that movie, The Rookie, you know, where he gets the call and he shows up in Arlington, that's what we get to do a lot. We get to go down the locker room and communicate to a player, your dreams are coming true. Be in Seattle. You're going to catch a plane here in a couple hours and go to Seattle. So that's exciting. I understand that from a playing perspective. I played through college, didn't make it to the minor leagues, but I feel like I've got a better feel for that than many because of that background. And it's an exciting opportunity to share that dream with our kids.
At the major league level, a general manager is involved in roster selection and hiring coaches and stuff like that. At the minor league level, I assume your main role is to try to put people in the seats and be a marketer. It's
a very much front office driven. We don't control the personnel on the field, and there's good and bad with that. The good is we don't have the salaries, so we don't have the labor costs.
It's a good business model.
That's right. I like the business model. The Rangers provide us the team, and we have some communication with them. If they've got a rehab assignment for Sammy Sosa in June or July of this year, rest assured we're going to lobby to try to get him in Oklahoma City. But we don't dictate that. We don't control it. But our responsibility is to put people in the seats. And Ken, I appreciate your kind words about the attendance. When we bought the club in November of '03, the attendance had waned a little bit, down to about 380,000 annually. Our first year we did 475 approximately. Year two we did 540 plus, and last year we did 540 plus. So the attendance has gone very well. We believe that we can compete with Memphis and Sacramento, markets in our league that have historically been 750 in attendance, and that's what we've been focusing on since we've attained ownership.
Baseball fans in Tulsa familiar with the Drillers, and fans in Oklahoma City familiar with the Red Hawks. What does the general manager do on a day-to-day basis? And does it change if the team's home or away?
Well, we like any entertainment business, we are planning. I've tried to instill in our team that there really is no off season. Our season runs from first part of April to mid-September. As you know, in Oklahoma City, Mayor, we have some events that are unrelated to baseball at the ballpark. We have snow tubing in December. We have the AAA World Series in September. So we've tried to engage in a business model that says, how can we effectively use this great asset that we have in Oklahoma City? One of the best in baseball, Kent, as you described at the very beginning, as we talked off air, I guess. And so we want people to enjoy the aesthetics, the beauty of our ballpark, to watch concerts, Stephen Curtis Chapman, Mercy Me. We've even had Def Leppard over there as well, the snow tubing in December. So our planning, Mayor, throughout the year is to get sales and food and beverage and catering and corporate events, all those kinds of things happening at the ballpark throughout the entire year, and also do 72 baseball games very well.
During the off season, you're just doing the same thing you're doing during the on season, except not going to ball games, I guess.
We're very, very event focused, yeah. and so it's just a different event, and we're saying, okay, we have baseball events here, we have concerts, we have corporate fundraisers we do on the field, we do all those events, and we just seek to do them very well.
We were, my family and I were down in Bricktown the other night trying to go to a movie and trying to find a place to park.
Yes, sir.
And it made me think, I wish I'd have gotten season tickets to the Red Hawks.
Well,
because,
you still can. For a discounted rate.
Oh, thank you. Because you have advertised, I've seen that you can get, I guess, year-round parking.
That's right.
With the Red Hawks season ticket. That's parking in a parking garage, I suppose, and has that been a good plus for you?
Well, it's not a parking garage. We have quite a few parking spaces adjacent to the ballpark, and I asked our team a couple years ago, what is the perception at times as far as the scarce commodity in Bricktown? It's parking. So we've got an abundance of it. Let us package that with all the other events that we're doing. Bedlam's this weekend. Big 12 will occur later this month as well, and so we seek to package all that, Kent, together along with the ability to park 12 months a year, so that if you want to go to Harkins to go to a movie or go to Nona's to eat or what have you, you can park right there on site and walk across the street.
Well, I thought that was a very effective advertising tool. It sure got my interest.
And season ticket sales have gone up, by the way. But there are a few left.
Well, good. That'll save some for me.
Yeah.
Tell us about the ballpark itself. Now, most of our viewers know that we're in the Bricktown ballpark. I guess it's now AT&T Bricktown ballpark. Built about a decade ago. Has it retained its beauty?
10th anniversary is this year, and yes, it has. In fact, one of the major sporting publications recently notified us about a month ago that it's been ranked again the top tier, if not number one, in all of minor league baseball. That says a lot. It says a lot about the longevity of what the Oklahoma City residents built, the voters built over 10 years ago, because many ballparks have come online in our league. And Nashville is in the process of looking at building a facility. So when you see new facilities come online in the last 10 years and are still being ranked as one of the best, it says a lot about the investment that was made over 10 years ago. What's unique about our ballpark, I think, is you talk to baseball folks, many facilities, minor league baseball facilities, aren't 13,000 seats. And so, in fact, many of them that are being built now are 10, 11,000. And that's a tremendous advantage to us because it allows us to use our facility, again, for other events unrelated to baseball that may draw, major concerts or other sporting events. So it is a tremendous benefit, I think, to the voters, the citizens of Oklahoma City, and people across the country are recognizing it.
Well, it seems to me it's a tribute to the members of the city council and the mayor that shepherded it through in the MAPS program.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
It's a good one.
And it was something visible and tangible.
Yeah.
Back that time, as you know, MAPS was just getting off, and when the facility went up, and Mayor, you speak this better than I can, but I really believe it was something tangible that the citizens saw and said, boy, that's a great investment.
That's
and
right.
it really created momentum, I think, for all of Bricktown.
Well, just a personal perspective, it was a great investment at the time. It was an exciting thing at the time, and it hasn't lost that luster over 10 years.
No, we work hard to maintain that.
Yeah. What's the business model for minor league baseball today, and what's the health of minor league baseball in Tulsa and Oklahoma City?
It's interesting you asked that, Mayor. I was at the All-Star break last year, meeting with several of my colleagues. I was on a committee dealing with some of our league issues, and Wall Street Journal had just done an article about the valuations of minor league baseball franchises across the country, and the article was very kind and gracious as far as the rising valuations. And I said, we need to tell people this. We need to go out and tell the story about how minor league baseball, we had over 40 million people in minor league baseball last year attend games. Just in the AAA, we had close to 15 to 16 million between the two leagues. That's just 30 teams. A lot of people don't recognize this, but there are only 30 AAA markets. There are a lot of single-A teams, there are a lot of rookie teams, there are multiple double-A teams, but there are only one AAA team for each big league club. It is a special thing to have AAA baseball in your town, and the Bank of America and other national sponsors are investing major dollars nationally because they recognize it's an untapped market as far as getting the word out.
Need to jump into a break. Texas Rangers have been affiliated with the Oklahoma City franchise for how long now?
I think since the 70s.
That's it's a long time.
Yes.
We're visiting with Scott Pruitt. We're discussing minor league baseball in Oklahoma, and we'll be right back.
The Journal-Record is pleased to be a sponsor of The Verdict. The Journal-Record, since 1903, the best source of Oklahoma business news and legal information.
Shining is taking responsibility. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, we know managing your health care can be overwhelming, and it's our job to help you meet the challenge. By guiding, supporting, and showing the way, we encourage you to gain control. Because we believe the best tool we can give you is the confidence to take charge. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma, shining through.
Okiwani is an Indian name for a place where children play. When we obtained the camp, we found a lot of oil debris left in the woods. We saw a commercial about how the oil and natural gas industry cleans up old oil well sites. We called the OERB, and they agreed to remove tons of concrete and steel. It didn't cost us a thing. Thousands of children have left their footprints on this land. Thanks to the oil and gas industry, they will for a long time to come.
All children deserve a life of hope and love, but sometimes they experience a life of pain, neglect, and abuse.
When that happens, each child deserves all the quality assistance and representation that can be offered in our legal system. For more information, call 23-CHILD.
Oklahoma Lawyers for Children, helping to bring hope and love back to the lives of abused children.
Our pledge as a company is to provide quality of service for our paying customers. When you illegally hook up cable,
everyone pays.
Theft of cable can cause outages.
Sometimes poor reception.
We seek out illegal use.
And we prosecute offenders.
If you know someone not paying for service,
call us at 1-800-466-5590.
You could remain anonymous.
Cable theft. It's more serious than you think. It's a crime.
There's a whole new world online, but it's not always safe for kids. Never agree to meet anyone you only know online because they might not be who they say they are. And if you must meet them, take a parent along. It's the safe way for kids. Right, gang?
Right. Be safe online.
Thanks to Lauren Nelson and Cox, we're working to keep Oklahoma kids safer online. For your free guide, log on now. And if you feel your child has been placed in danger by someone online, notify law enforcement today.
Welcome back to The Verdict. Mick Cornett, Kent Myers, and our guest, Scott Pruitt, managing partner of the Oklahoma Redhawks. Well, how's the season going so far?
Well, you know, we've had some great attendance when it's not been raining, and even when it's been raining, we've done well. We actually sold out yesterday for a day game on a Wednesday, which is a great thing. So I think the attendance is going well. Obviously, the bulk of the season, June, July timeframe, and I think we've got a great schedule, great team. They're competing well. We've got some great promotions throughout the year. We did miss Bobby Mercer's tribute on opening night because of rain. We're going to revisit that later in the year. Goose Gossage had actually flown in for that, and Mickey Tettleton and other notable Major League players. So we're going to revisit that later in the year.
How important is winning? If you're the general manager of the team, how important are you that your
Well,
team
I'm
get more wins
competitive,
than
so I
losses?
like to win. And in our first two years of ownership, we did win the division, went in the playoffs and got beat. Last year we didn't. Does it affect attendance? Marginally at best. I think most people who come to the ballpark are unlike me. I'm a baseball purist. I like watching 2-to-1 games. I love the competition. Most people who come want to eat in Fenway Frank. You know, they want to get out on the, do batting cage out in center field, whatever. They want to have fun, and we want them to have fun. So, and they may look up in the sixth inning and say, "Who's winning?" And that's what we want them to do. So.
Tell us about your manager. Who's managing the ball club and what's his background?
Bobby Jones has been in the organization, Texas organization, for 30 plus years. And I'll tell you, you have to be a very talented, unique individual to manage AAA baseball players, because many of the players have been up in the big leagues and they come back down. And so they're upset. And then you've got a lot of players who are on the way up, and they've been to spring training or whatever, and they thought they should have made the big league club, and they're upset. And so you've got youngsters and vets that are crossing paths with some convergence of, I should be up there. And so to really hone that together and put together a team that's competitive, it takes a unique talent. Bobby does it better than nobody. I mean, better than anybody in the country. And glad he's our manager.
What about some of the veterans that have had major league experience that are now playing in Oklahoma City?
You know, this year, if you look at our roster this year, we have a few of those. I mean, R.A. Dickey, as an example, has been with us for a long, long time. R.A. has been up quite a bit. Unique story. He got a first-round pick in 1996, and within 2 weeks after being drafted, blows out his elbow, makes his way back, makes it to the big leagues, and does it again. Within the last couple of years. So he spent a lot of time with us the last couple of years. He's not with us this year. So we're missing those kinds of folks this year. But we have a lot of young talent, particularly some pitching talent that the Rangers have invested in over the course of the last 3 or 4 years in the draft that I think people are going to be very pleased to see.
You mentioned in the last segment that you do the snow tubing in the winter, and I assume at some point you thought, baseball season ends, it doesn't mean that people have to quit coming to the ballpark. Right. How can we use this venue to continue to bring crowds? And the festival that goes on in the winter was a great opportunity. What other brainstorming goes on and other ways to draw people downtown?
Well, quite a bit. I mean, one of the things that the Boston Red Sox, and I confronted our team about this a couple weeks ago, they actually do black tie fundraising events on the field at Fenway Park, and people love it. They set up special food in the dugouts, and they have certain things that can occur out on the field. It's a great thing to do for community-related events. We're going to look at those things. We're looking at trying to do some clinics at the field. I think it's a natural for us to bring in people that we have a relationship with, whether it's the Rangers down in Texas, former big leaguers that are in Oklahoma City, Lee Tunnell and others that do a lot of clinics, bring them to the ballpark when we're not in town to help do instruction for youngsters. One of the major points of emphasis for Major League Baseball is to help minorities get reintroduced to baseball. 20, 30 years ago, minorities, particularly African Americans, 25 to 30% of big leaguers were African Americans. Today it's 8%. And they're asking the question why across the country, and predominantly it's because there are no fields in inner city America. And so we're trying to think, how can we help, establish a presence in Oklahoma City throughout and partner with the Red Hawks through clinics and other things. So some of it's revenue driven, Mayor, some of it's community driven, but we want people to be at the ballpark and enjoy it throughout the entire year. And we're just getting started, hopefully.
I know you have Bedlam, you have other college baseball events at the ballpark. Do you have any high school baseball events?
We have. In fact, we just had, we had 2 college teams played recently, and we've done some high school. We've actually done some American Legion as well. Yeah. It's rare because it's difficult to, from the scheduling standpoint, they play so many games, and coordinating with our schedule is not easy, but we have done that.
Well, it's thrilling for the players, I know that.
Oh, I remember when I was playing through amateur baseball before I went to college, I got to play in the Richmond Braves Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. And it was in a full AstroTurf field, and at that time it was one of the best in baseball, and I'll never forget that experience.
Minor League Baseball general managers sometimes are very creative in the promotions that they have, and what are the most creative ideas you think the Red Hawks have come up with the last few years, and if you don't mind, what ideas have you said, no, we're not going to do that?
Yeah, well, what comes to mind immediately, we just had Deal or No Deal. I don't know if you all saw that or not, but we had Deal or No Deal come to the ballpark after one of our games. We had over 7,000 people in line. We had people camping out the night before.
They were trying to be on the show.
To be on the show, but we partnered that with our activities at the ballpark.
That's a great idea.
And so we've done things like that. And you're right, it's very promotionally driven. And I think that's something when people come to a minor league game, they can feel and touch baseball, I think, a lot closer than they can in the big leagues. And we've tried to encourage that. Let's let people on the field on Sundays, Mayor. We do Fun Day Sundays where dads and moms and kids can run the bases, get out in the field and throw, and really get in the stadium, Kent, and see what's it like to be on the Bricktown ballpark. We take that for granted because we're out there walking all the time, but they don't, and it's an exciting thing for them. So some of it is promotional driven, like Deal or No Deal, and trying to link up events like that. Some of it's just as basic as how do we get people here on the field, in the batting cages, underneath in the tunnels, to see the locker rooms and experience what big league baseball is like.
Heard a lot in the last year or two about what a family-friendly environment the Hornets games were, but I've heard that for 10 years about the Red Hawks, about what a family-friendly environment baseball at the ballpark is in Oklahoma City. Do you have to be careful to make sure you maintain that?
It's our number one focus. I mean, Friday nights we actually have Faith in Friday, where we had some concerts a couple years ago where Stephen Curtis Chapman came in, Christian artist, to sing after a game. Mercy Me did the same thing. We play Christian music after. So kind of a family feel. We have family sections where no alcohol, obviously no smoking at the facility. We've dedicated sections for that, good seats. So we try to make sure that families know that they're important. We want moms to come and dads to come and know that their kids can go out to the playground and they don't have to worry about them. That they can go out and play the Xbox 360 behind third base and have some fun with that. So we've tried to do a number of different things, Kent, that offers. I want to put in a basketball court. I've thought about putting in a wiffle ball field, out beyond center field fence to allow kids just to play, just to have fun while they're watching a game.
Put in a wiffle ball field, I'm there. It's the hard ball that still scares me.
Okay.
Now, AAA World Series is an event you brought to Oklahoma City last year. It's back again this year. Obviously, it had some level of success. Why go that extra mile? Why go out and say, hey, let's bring the championship game to Oklahoma City?
Well, it had been dormant, and Mayor, you know this, but Las Vegas had that event for a number of years, and it didn't do so well, and so it went dormant for about 5. We began lobbying minor league baseball about 2 years ago. John and I did to say, you know what, Oklahoma City, great things are going on. We're centrally located. Let us bring together the coast, because AAA baseball, an international league on the East Coast, Pacific Coast League, our state west. And so the travel is significant. They looked at doing it in Hawaii, they looked at doing it in different places, and they were convinced because of what's going on in Oklahoma City, the park, the attendance, the excitement, and where it's located. Let's go to Oklahoma City and revisit it. And we had 8,000 to 9,000 people last year.
And their trust in the management that y'all could pull it off. So
That's
congratulations on that. We are out of time, Scott.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thanks very much for coming on the show, and best of luck. And glad to hear minor league baseball is succeeding all over the state of Oklahoma.
Look forward to seeing you at the ballpark.
Scott Pruitt, managing partner of the Oklahoma Red Hawks. Kent and I'll have a final word after this.
The good life comes naturally to Tulsa, where nature's beauty is matched with an eye for aesthetics. A legacy of neighborhoods graced with lawns and landscaping and handsome homes. A place that seems to have patented an ideal lifestyle. Bank First is loyal to the quality of life Tulsa assures its citizens, to the priority placed on education, culture, and growth. Loyal to builders who transform raw land into residential charm. Developers who see opportunity and add vitality to Tulsa's economy. Bank First serves both enterprise and private lives that need a loyal partner. It's how we help nurture this city's very good life. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
There's a whole new world online, but it's not always safe for kids. What if someone you meet online sends a message that makes you feel uncomfortable? Tell a parent or teacher right now. It's the safe way for kids, right, gang?
Right. Be safe online.
Thanks to Lauren Nelson and Cox, we're working to keep Oklahoma kids safer online. For your free guide, log on now. And if you feel your child has been placed in danger by someone online, notify law enforcement today.
Hi, this is James Garner.
Hi, this is Reba McEntire.
Hi, this is Johnny Bench. Hi, I'm Barry Switzer.
Hey everybody, this is Vince Gill.
Welcome to my home state of Oklahoma,
where we'll be celebrating 100 years of statehood
in 2007.
Our strength is our people, and the 2,100 Oklahomans from the Cox Communications family are proud to be part of Oklahoma's story. Cox and Oklahoma, true partners.
Happy birthday, Oklahoma.
Welcome back to The Verdict, wrapping up a show with Scott Pruitt in which we learned the state of minor league baseball and specifically the Red Hawks.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to talk about minor league baseball and what's going on in Oklahoma City and in Tulsa in that regard with the Drillers. It's a wonderful chance to go out and have some fun at the ballpark.
10th season in that ballpark. Hard to believe.
It is.
Time has really moved on. Some website information, OklahomaRedHawks.com, and our website, theverdict.tv. Go there, tell us about a show you'd like to see on The Verdict. For Kent, I'm Mick. We'll see you next time on The Verdict.
The preceding program was produced by the Production Services Group at Cox Communications, exclusively for the Cox Channel.